everyone, what's up? It's PinkytinkyAG here, and today I'm coming at you as voiceover AG, as today I'm going to be explaining and just going into further detail about my most recent video I posted, The Nobody. Now, before we get too far into it, I just want to say thank you guys so much for all the love and the feedback I got on my movie. It was so sweet, and I enjoyed just sitting and getting all the notifications. I want to thank you guys so much for that. And if you haven't seen the Nobody movie, it'll be linked in the description below, and if you go on my channel, it'll be the most recent video. Now, when I said I've been working on this movie for the past couple months, I actually mean it. I started this back in April. The process began with me writing the story out. The story was originally 20 pages. By the time I went through it, crossed out stuff, and redid a bunch of stuff for the actual script, it was about 15 pages. And then from those 15 pages, I started assigning dolls, assigning character names, because I had to rename everyone, which I'll get into further detail later. So after I did that, I ended up setting up scenes. I had to build a bunch of stuff, from foam board and hot glue. Then after that, I began filming, and that was around June. So in June, when I actually started recording and filming, I was filming every day on it, working on it. And then in July, I still filmed, but I also kind of fell through. When I fell through, it's just I've been working on this for so long, and it was coming together, but not as fast as I wanted it to. I took a little break from the movie. So the clips you see in front of you were filmed in June, but the rest of the movie, probably about the last 2 to 3 minutes, were actually filmed in August. Now, I have a lot of clips from this movie that didn't really get put in to the actual movie, because there was a lot of scenes I wanted to put in, but they didn't really add anything to the story. And by the time I got to the first 5 minutes, I realized this movie would be extremely long if I added in everything I originally filmed. So, editing process, which I did about the last 2 weeks of August, took me a while because I had to go through everything. And then my memory card, I had a bunch of malfunctions with it, so I ended up having to get a new memory card, refilm a bunch of other scenes that I had to add in at the very end, and then start from scratch with editing. Now, as I promised I'd get to later, and later is now, I said how I had to rename a bunch of the people, which is true, because if you didn't get from the end of the movie, which is going to be really confusing if you haven't seen the actual movie, but if you watched it, you'd see that at the end, my doll sat down and said, "Hey everyone, what's up? It's PinkytinkyAG here." When I did that scene, I was trying to refer or foreshadow that this is a true story, and this was my, I don't know whether you call it bullying, I'll call it choir experience. And the reason why I want to make this a movie is because I know a lot of people get bullied. And I know a lot of people probably have it worse than what I had. And I feel for you guys, because I know how it's like. You think, you're like, well, I don't think they'd say anything they wouldn't mean, so why would they say that to me? And I completely understand. But my problem was, I didn't say anything to them. I let them walk over me. I had a hand in it because I didn't stand up for myself. And I wanted to make this. As much as I hated filming it because it just brought back so much stuff, I wanted to make this for you guys. So if you're ever in this sense where someone's being bullied, you're being bullied, speak up. Don't be afraid to share your own opinion. If they're so loud on yours, voice yours even louder. Because I think if I stood up for myself a little bit more and not just stand there frozen, I would have been able to end it, and I would still be doing choir. I quit now, but I just want you guys to know that, yeah, it sucks being bullied, and yeah, as much as you want to just stop and quit, you can say something. Don't give them the will or the power because once you give them that, they're gonna run with it. Now, when I first filmed this movie, I had every intention of everything that I filmed was going to go into this movie. Did that happen? No. There was a lot of other stories or moments that I actually put into the movie that I ended up editing out because it almost went into too much detail, and because I still know these people and since I still see them basically on a weekly basis, I had to take it out because if they ever do find this video somehow, I don't want them to know how upset they made me. Because even though I stood there, I didn't show any emotion. And so, for all they know, I could have thought it was the funniest thing or the opposite. So I didn't want them to know that. So that's also why I changed the names. And there was another part of the story that I edited out that I just want to touch on briefly was Eloise. If you remember Eloise, she was in the beginning of the movie. I just kind of squared her down to the first scene. And I could make a whole nother movie just on Eloise. And it would be probably about the same length, just on that girl. Again, I'm not trying to go into too much detail because she still knows me. But Eloise had a hand in it, but she wasn't necessarily with the choir. She was more necessarily picking and bullying on me for liking American Girl dolls. And that's why that video, Why I Love American Girl Dolls, went out, because I was dealing with that then. And I realized I can't voice it to her because, again, I didn't say anything even when we were on the phone and it was just the two of us. But I can say something to my subscribers. And that's why I made that video. All of a sudden, I stopped filming this and I moved on to that because I was like, I need to put this out there and I need people to see this. So, yeah, if you guys want to see another story time or movie just on Eloise, I will do so. Thank you guys so much for watching this. Again, thank you for all the love and the support you gave me on my last video, The Nobody, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.